Hi everyone, and welcome to the Nurturing Astrology Podcast. I'm Dominique Jaramillo, your astrologer and host. I believe astrology can fast-track personal growth, improve relationships, and empower parents. On this show, I will bring you practical guidance and insight from my own work, studies, and life experiences, as well as interview experts to bring you stellar wisdom from other teachers and professionals to inspire you on your journey. I'm so glad you're here and thanks for tuning in. So sit back, enjoy the show, and be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to catch every new episode as soon as it drops. Your shares and reviews are also much appreciated to help more people benefit from nurturing astrology. Okay, let's dive into today's show. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Nurturing Astrology Podcast. Today, I want to wish everyone a happy equinox. We are entering Libra season and the fall here in the north. I have long sleeves on and I'm so excited. This is the time when the weather starts to cool, hopefully, because we've had some extreme heat. But the leaves on the trees start to turn and drop. And we prepare for winter, and it feels so yummy. I'm really excited about the cooler weather and looking forward to this next season. Happy birthday to all of my Libra friends. Happy solar return month. And I'm going to dive in and share my monthly musing for Libra season. There is a lot going on, and it kicks off right away. But first, just a few astrology reminders. So Libra is the seventh sign of the zodiac, ruling the seventh house on the astrology wheel. And it's governed by the planet Venus. Libra energy represents love and relationships and our desire for peace and harmony, balance and fairness, equality, cooperation, and justice, working together with others in a harmonious way. So these are the themes that we're going to be talking about and working with now through October 22nd. So where Libra lands in your chart is the area of life that is pulling focus this month, right? So maybe it's in the fourth house of home and family and relationships, and the quality of life in this area is what's up for you. Maybe it's in the seventh house or the first house. So marriage or your relationship with yourself within relationship is up for you. Or even issues with friends or coworkers or even your boss, maybe, if it's in the third, sixth, or 10th house. And it could even be your relationship with money and your value system if it's in the second house. So you get the idea. And if you are a Libra sun or have the moon or other planets in Libra, this season is even more important and impactful for you. So take notes of these to get a fuller picture of the energies and how things will be influencing you specifically. And look to where Libra falls for you and what other planets are aspecting this point in your chart. For example, if you have Aries planets, very much about integrating the other now for you. And if you are Capricorn or Cancer energies, this is definitely integrating and trying to find where changes need to be made so that you can really find that work-life, home life balance maybe for yourself and in your relationships. So just to give you some ideas there. Either way, the goal of this time is to review how things are going in this area and assess sort of how best to bring our lives into better balance and harmony to be able to attract more of what we desire, love, and want to manifest in our lives. So let's dive into what's ahead and see if I can offer some practical guidance and wisdom about how to make the most of this season. The sun enters Libra September 22nd around 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it immediately meets up with Mercury at 0 degrees as it's about to, as it has its inferior conjunction with the sun, and then moves retrograde further back into Virgo. It has about, I think, 10 or 11 hours of this conjunction before it steps back into Virgo. So this can really energize our relationships or our conversations around these things and how these things are going. Um, Good choices can be made to improve our daily lives and well being. And this can result in happier, healthier relationships and families. So it's all about balance, right? It's key to survival and an ongoing job for us to create balance in our lives. And different things come in at different times to show us where we may be out of balance. And for us in Virgo season or in Libra season, it is really about self and other and balancing who I am, what I need, what is most important and valuable to me, and who I'm in relationship with that is reflecting that, supporting that, or helping me, reflecting back to me about things I need to learn about myself. There is a give and take. But ultimately, this first conjunction of Mercury and Sun right as we enter Libra season is really going to give us this opportunity to gain more insight, since it is retrograde, about what needs to improve in our relationships and how we relate with others. So when Mercury moves back into Virgo, basically overnight tonight, the 22nd, into tomorrow, the 23rd, this gives us a second chance to get things done, that we may have attempted to start in late August before the retrograde started. It's a time that helps us sort of gather the necessary skills or tools or information that's going to help us move forward, or even rethink the plans or projects for how to schedule work life more efficiently and effectively in our day to day, how to handle all the things. And so you may have actually had all these great ideas and projects that you want to get done, and even thought, oh, wow, like I'm going to pull out all these things and work on these things, or update these things, or back up these things, or redesign these things. And you may have found that you've done a lot of little different things and handle little details on stuff, but there isn't anything really complete yet. And that's okay, because while Mercury's retrograde, it is a time to keep reviewing, right? So we are moving back into Virgo with Mercury and getting a chance to sort of revisit, okay, where am I on those projects? Have I really gotten things together? Has it been overwhelming and I've stalled out on some things? Or have I realized, what, that's not really important. I don't really want to do that anymore. Or it's become clear what really wants and needs to be finished and what is finished, So then on the 24th, Virgo, or Venus in Virgo, will oppose Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So this can either help us reimagine how something can be done better, or could cause more overwhelm, confusion, and doubt about what we're doing, right? So it's time to hang in there. Keep moving forward with those baby steps towards a project completion or work on an issue, and trust that the fog's going to clear soon, So lean into creativity and brainstorming, or just sort of taking care, getting the extra rest so that you can focus, because it will all clear. The fog will clear. We just have to finish out this cycle. I don't know about you, but this Mercury retrograde has felt longer than others. And I think it is because we've moved, from Virgo, like into Libra. It retrograded. Now we're going back into Virgo. It's going to go back into Libra. And this sort of, the shifting of energies has really made it seem a lot longer and like dealing with a lot of different things, your day to day, and then the people in your lives, the relationships. So yeah, I think it's been a very important and valuable retrograde in terms of really checking in with how we utilize our energy, how we utilize our time, what we're really working on, the direction of our work, and how we want to serve others and taking care of ourselves, and who's in our lives that is really that are really have our backs and really supporting us, and where there may be some growth that needs to happen in order to really feel like the relationship is healthy or feel like you're living your best life. So then, see, we're literally in the first few days of the season. We're literally on, Saturday, right? Friday, Saturday. So Sunday, this coming Sunday, the 25th, is our new moon at 2 degrees of Libra at 2:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you can adjust for your time zone. So we have our new moon that's really the initiator and bringing in and launching us into Libra season. And there's some wonderful things about this particular new moon. The biggest is the opposition to Jupiter retrograde in Aries. Okay, so the Libra energy is naturally about considering the other and what the other needs and accommodating energy and wanting to be fair and cooperative. With Jupiter across from this energy, there is also this need to make sure that you're standing up for what you want and need in the relationship. And like the new moon offers a chance to expand and demand more fairness and balance in our relationship so that it can grow and we can both grow individually and together. So it's sort of like that sentiment of like a true relationship is when you walk side by side with someone, equal partnership, and there is no, hierarchy. There's equality, there's mutual respect, mutual love, and understanding, and each person is getting what they need individually and together in the relationship from each other, providing for each other and really nurturing each other's individual growth as much as your growth as a union. So Libra, the sign of partnership and relationship, opposite this sort of go big or go home planet, retrograde in that self-focused sign of Aries, that it challenges a little bit of that natural agreeable nature of peacekeeping Libra, but kind of maybe it needs to is the point, right? So even though Jupiter is there, it is retrograde. So it is about us kind of going, okay, look within here and say, how am I really utilizing my energy or helping my partner or supporting my friends or my family, or looking within to see how your own personal growth evolution is evolving and how the people around you are supporting that. Or if you've been the person who's done all the accommodating, like if you're always someone who's accommodating others and not making your own needs known, or getting your own needs met, this could be an opportunity to sort of speak up a little bit and share that information in a kind, loving way to say, this is what I need in order for me to feel better and whole in myself and to be able to better serve the relationship. Or if you're the one who kind of finds yourself taking more than supporting in a relationship, maybe that's something to consider. If you have I been more self-focused and not really considered, other people's opinions or thoughts or needs, something to consider there. Now, Jupiter speaks truth to power boldly and confidently, right? And with Mars in Gemini, the words can fly out fast and without fully thinking them through. So there can be conflict, if we're not mindful of how we're approaching conversations as well. But there's really good news here because Mars is trine Saturn retrograde in Aquarius for this new moon. And that's friendly air sign Aquarius. It's totally possible to find options for leveling the playing field or creating solutions to issues that can work for everyone. So each side's going to have to maybe give a little to get a little, but it's like everybody's in the mood to do that. There's this desire to create more peace and harmony. And this actually is really supportive of this sign. But Venus, the ruler of this new moon, is actually also in a lovely trine to Pluto, right? So Venus in this trine to Pluto, it's like any force or pressure that's felt to make a change is actually welcomed because you know that making these adjustments is ultimately going to be for the good of the relationship, for your personal good. And even though it's uncomfortable, it's ultimately going to be worth it because it's like recognizing and understanding that change is difficult, but we want the change really bad, and we're welcoming in that, okay, I'm going to be a little uncomfortable. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. But on the other side of it, I know I'm going to feel better. We're going to be better because everybody's going to feel stronger and more seen and more heard and more valued. And that's going to ultimately help everyone rise, right? Everyone feel better and every relationship thrive instead of just survive. And we also have to keep in mind that the close square is still active between Saturn and Uranus. So this could bring surprises to help work out better ways of getting along, or could shake things up, that really force us to be more flexible in making those needed changes. But all in all, I see this new moon as a real opportunity for balancing our own energy and then balancing ourselves within our relationships with others, both internally and, in our environments and space, whether it's our job or our home or our friendships. So it's clearly a really big weekend. Like that's just this weekend, right? So it's a lot of really great energy that's happening, but it is very powerful. So then as we close out September next week, Venus returns to her home sign of Libra as well. So she's been in Virgo where she's, not always as comfortable, but, she feel a little prickly and, having to negotiate and things like that. And like mired down in sort of the details of stuff and not as comfortable, but it's still earth, and so there's value in understanding the value of it. But she's going to feel a whole lot better now when she's back in Libra and be like, yes, okay, it's a great time to make peace and create win-wins, and she feels a lot more comfortable and ready to do this, to negotiate for relationship harmony. And that's just going to be even more added energy to this beautiful Libra season in terms of, yes, let's create harmony and peace and fairness and justice, and let's work together to create a wonderful life. Then as we move into October, we get really excited right off the bat because October 2nd, Mercury stations direct at 24 Virgo. Yay. So it'll be time for moving forward on fresh made plans and really getting clear about, okay, now I've been working on all these things and now Mercury is stationed direct. Let's think about what kind of progress we've made. Okay, I've made some minor progress, a lot of minor progress on a lot of little things. And now it's time to say, okay, I've got the framework, I've got some outlines, I've been working on things little by little and the details. Let's see what's next. Like, if there are things that aren't feeling complete, now it's time for that final run through, that practice run, or really get all the details in place so that projects and ideas can take shape and move forward for real. So that's very exciting. And as we do that, we wax forward toward our full moon in Aries, which will arrive on October 9th at 16 degrees Aries, 1:54 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the powerful thing about this full moon in this cycle is this is a powerful one for personal and relationship healing. Chiron retrograde in Aries is involved in this full moon. Now, October 7th, just before the full moon on the 9th, the sun will oppose Chiron, and then will be joined by the moon for the full moon on the 9th. So we have this healing come in first. It connects, this opposition of, maybe this is the sore spot. Maybe this is where I still have some personal healing to do in order to really make sure that this relationship is working, or this situation is moving forward in the best way, or this project feels really good in my heart, or that I feel confident stepping out, in who I am, more so in a relationship or just on a world stage. But this is where the wound can be highlighted, and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm still working on that. Also, on October 8th, Pluto stations direct at 26 Capricorn, which has been retrograde since April, the end of April. So this inner work we've been doing in terms of transforming and figuring out our sort of what's really bugging us below the surface, what's really under there that's really irritating us, or why we're not happy, or why things aren't going the way that we really want them to go, or what's really dying and ending and what needs to be released. That's now that we've come through that cycle, it's time to take what we've learned and come out and transition that into action, and assimilate and start living from this new place of self-empowerment and self-knowing of what is true and right for us, for you. So with this Chiron conjunct the moon for this full moon on October 9th, it's also opposite Venus in Libra with the sun. So there is a need or a necessary healing that has to take place to really grow in our relationships. We have to really feel, in the one hand, in a relationship, you want to have a partner or a friend or, people in your life that really help you grow through your healing of your wounds, right? But ultimately the work is individual, and we have to really tune in to ourselves. So it's a good time of reflection to understand what is driving our own behavior and why we choose the partners we choose, why we're with the people we're with, why we, need the things we need, and what really brings us peace and harmony, what really makes us feel strong and empowered within ourselves, who in our lives really makes us feel or reflects back to us what we feel is truest about ourselves and what is possible. We may be projecting our own issues or pains on someone else too, or a situation and missing the message, or perhaps someone or a situation is reflecting for us where we need to heal. So there's this understanding of what's mine and what's theirs. What am I healing and what is being healed through this relationship, through this partnership, through this connection. And this is going to be connection with community as well. The people in our close social networks, our groups of friends, not just our intimate relationships, but all relationships, our work relationships, our coworkers, anybody that we spend time with on a daily basis, close. They're all there for a reason, right? They're all reflecting something back to us to help us grow and learn about ourselves. So self-healing can bring real rejuvenation and restoration to ourselves and our relationships. And I think at this full moon, you know, it's positive and supporting energy because the ruler is Mars, it's in Gemini, and it's in the middle of a working trine with the Sun and Saturn. So this is a beautiful Grand Air Trine for this full moon. So you have this fiery Aries moon with this wounded healer energy of Chiron opposing the Sun with Venus in Libra, the sign of cooperation and compassion and love, peace, harmony seeking, peace seeking energy. And this grand trine in air makes it really possible for us to find mutually beneficial solutions to any issues, and offer kind words to encourage others to heal and move through things that they may be struggling with. So this is a really beautiful energy for second chances to get something right as well. If we've had some disagreements or there's, we've taken our pain out on the wrong person, it's a great time for apologies to be made and apologies to be received and accepted, and for real healing to happen so that relationships can move forward. We can move through issues or conflicts and lay new foundations for more harmonious relationships. There's this normal me versus we, on this relationship axis of Venus and Mars, with Aries and Libra. That's the two personal planets of relationships here. And so Mars is still part of this like trine, and Venus is part of this energy as well because she rules Libra, right? So we're very much working with this relationship axis of me and we. Where do I fit? Who am I in this relationship, and who are we together? So moving on, let's see. So as we move through this full moon on the 9th, this Grand Air Trine actually will perfect over the next few days. So as we move forward on October 11th, that Sun will actually trine Saturn retrograde in Aquarius. And then on the 17th, the Sun's going to trine Mars in Gemini. So this beautiful Grand Air Trine that is in play for the full moon continues, right, into the next week or so. So this can really help us with this energy to improve the balance and harmony in our relationship. So it's a beautiful opportunity, I think, this month to really start to assess what's what, who's who, taking ownership and responsibility of our words, our role in a relationship, and what we're trying to create, and also how we're supporting others as well. Then also October 10th, the next day after that beautiful full moon, Mercury enters Libra again for the second time because it moved into Libra and then went a retrograde. Now it's re-entering. It's time for second chances to make good choices. So we definitely are going to feel this opportunity to say, okay, now I've done the work and things are in place. Now let's go. Let's celebrate. Let's share it with others. Let's move forward for realsies on this relationship, on this commitment, on this project. It's really, really great energy come mid-October to start moving forward. So this is very exciting. Then as we close out Libra season, we have a few really big aspects and transits, shifts. So first, on the 19th, the Libra sun squares off Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a time where endings and closures to relationship issues, there can be, we had this beautiful Venus trine Pluto in the new moon, the Libra new moon, where we maybe set some intentions, or the idea of, with Jupiter opposition, showing us where we wanted to grow and expand and maybe have more freedom in a relationship. And this is where we now go, okay, I know what needs to change in order to create that better balance, or I know that this relationship maybe isn't for me or isn't what I wanted, or it's time to make a change in the relationship for good, one way or the other. So that Sun square Pluto, which is direct now in Capricorn, it's time to make new deals, agreements, or commitments for building more love and security in the relationship and in our lives, or close out and end relationships or issues so that you can have the freedom to find those things that you desire and that harmony you need in your life. On the 22nd, Venus in Libra finally catches up to the sun. She's been chasing the sun all season long, and they meet up at 29 degrees on the 22nd for the superior conjunction, when Venus will move from being a morning star to an evening star. So this is a very big day and begins a new Venus star point journey, which is beautiful for really starting to move into creating more mutually beneficial relationships and creating more harmony in our lives, and really being able to commit to working together to improving our lives and the lives of people we care about in new ways, really finding new ground to stand on together and growing life in ways that really create more balance and harmony, like seeking reconciliation, and seeking resolution, and moving forward in more fair ways, living with more equality, fighting for more justice in the world and our relationships. So this transition of Venus into an evening star, she's going to go on a journey here to really make some major change in how we relate to one another. Finally, the same day, this is a really big day, October 22nd, Mercury will trine Saturn in Aquarius, just as Saturn then goes direct at 18 Aquarius, 19 Aquarius, where it has been retrograde for 5 months since early June. So again, oh my gosh, we've been working on all this stuff, restructuring our idea of what our job is going to look like, or the work that we want to do. So now new project structures and progress can happen. It's time to really, this is where the rubber meets the road. Okay, I've been in review mode. I've been in restructuring and trying to figure out what's working and what's not. Now I think I'm clear. I'm getting closer and closer. I know the direction I want to go. I know the kind of work I want to do in the world. I know the kind of community I want to be in, the kind of relationships I want to be in. Let's go. Let's do this. So it's a really potent and beautiful season for relationships and personal growth. I think that there are a lot of beautiful opportunities over the next month, even though there's this great energy of like, oh, here come eclipse season, which are next on the rise here, end of October, and a lot of major shifts and changes in our lives. But the more consciously we are working with this energy through Libra season and really getting clear within ourselves and within our relationship and our values and beliefs of what we need and what really is fulfilling our energy in relationships in our lives, the more successful we can be at transforming and up-leveling our lives to align with more of who we are, who we're becoming, what we value, and what we desire to create most in our lives, and who we want to partner to for this crazy ride, right? So yes, Scorpio season will be on deck and eclipse season is coming in. And these are always big times of major shift and change. And I do think that, that is coming, but I'm always like, come from a place of how can I work with the present energy so that, and make good choices now so that when these big moments of pivotal shift come, I can ride the wave in a way that whatever is changing, I know is for my highest good. And I've done my personal work, to go, okay, this is what the universe is showing me now. So I do believe this is a lovely season. Venus energy, Libra energy is always like, yes, peace, love, harmony, let's all get along. And there can be struggle in that. And it can be, you have to have some hard conversations and you have to be really brutally honest sometimes. What does it take to have a real solid relationship with someone? I will say on a personal note that my husband and I work really hard at having a really respectful, loving relationship. And a big proponent of that is being able to have conversations that are not easy to have always, and being really honest. And I think over time and and investing in a relationship of this kind and being willing to communicate, it's helped us continue to grow and evolve as individuals within the relationship, which has only made the relationship stronger and stronger over the years. So I'm proud to say I've put a lot of the astrology into action to really cultivate a beautiful marriage and partnership that I can be proud of. And it hasn't always been easy, but it's always been worth it, to put in that effort. And then whatever major shifts or changes come in the world, like I know we're going to survive, we're going to thrive because we have each other and we are on the same page and we can navigate anything that the world brings, any changes that come. I always find that whenever something major happens, one person might freak out and the other one's like holds the line and is steady, or the other one feels overwhelmed. I feel overwhelmed. He's like the steady rock who goes, hey, we got this. It's having that balance and being there for one another and being able to overcome any challenge that life brings. That's the beauty of having a solid partnership or a community of people that you can lean on, close friends and allies and people you love and trust that you can always call on to support you in times of need. So, and I think that takes a lot too. Asking for help, is hard for a lot of people, and feeling like you have to do everything on your own is tough. So I think being there for our friends, being there for our loved ones, being there for our partner, and really being honest about what we need from them so we can feel and do our best as well. So honesty is the best policy and communication is key. And those are two things that I live by and I think are great reminders for Libra season. So I hope this gives you some good things to think about and practical guidance for working with the energies of this season and being ready and feeling really prepared as you enter, or as I say, we enter eclipse season at the end of October, and feeling really ready for whatever's next to come on the journey. So wishing you a beautiful Libra season, a very wonderful and cool fall season for those of you in the north. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Take good care. Thanks for listening, and I hope you gained some great astrology insight and inspiration from today's show. I'd love to hear, so drop me a comment or share in a review. Check out the show notes for all the details and links about today's episode, how you can connect with me on social or work with me directly. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Oh, and for my moms out there, be sure to join my private Conscious Parenting with Astrology Moms group on Facebook. Come join a growing community of like-minded mamas supporting each other in the hardest job in the world with the help of astrology. Hope to see you over there. Take care and keep nurturing the nature, friends. I'll see you on the next episode.